in the destruction of everybody, but in actually nobody's paying them. So in the end, whatever it is, you know, is their own way of doing things to try to pretend to show this and that, that and this. Whatever they do for America, China, or Russia, or any other entities, you cannot be proven in court. So they better go and see the psychiatrist. How many healthy countries you're going to sacrifice today? So you see, this is how, in the end, people are being used as scapegoat. It's a whole kind of situation, the whole process. The people who are involved are being used as scapegoat. So why the hypnotic system has to uh, being used as a scapegoat? Right. So that's the problem. Who asked them? Why they to be to be used as a scapegoat? Not enough for him. Well, as I said, they try to play politics. What they are doing, the hypnotic they just try to constrict your mind. After they constrict the mind already, they want you to link the thoughts and your body movement and whatever is in your that will move in your mouth is together, and they want people to believe in it. It's all connected in the wrong way. They just want to create a make believe to believe the make believe. You know, don't believe. That's how they look at it. So whatever it is, they try to constrict your mind and want you to think this way, to think that way, to think whatever it is. And then in the end, they just want to connect the imagination with the body movement and whatever happens to your mouth or your whatever it is. I want the victims to believe and the China civilization to believe in it. That kind of situation. But it's all not connected actually. So this is how they try to break, confuse, and sometimes they try to control your mind in that way to allow you to always think, you know, whatever it is. And when you think, then the Chinese will also think that way because it's a weakness of the China civilization brain that they are playing with. So at the end of the day, whatever it is, they are actually subverting themselves. They think they are very clever to try to play, confuse, and control the minds of everybody. But in the end of the day, the methods created is to fool them. They may know better, but how can you prove? Let's say the Hino device is one plus one is two. And then the chances like they make the hypnotist books on the victim's mind to constrict and try to let him be sleepy, and then after that once you say okay now you think this think that mm, think this, and then after followed by this prepare this, and then in a sleeping or manner, and when you answer and your mind is unconscious, but again a Chinese civilization knows what is the methods. So the Chinese civilization assume based on the mind, how the mind reads. And the Chinese civilization Sometimes the hypnotic try to sing together with the China civilization. So the China civilization, what they do? What happened when, in the end, they look at it? Also, one plus one is two. But the real facts of how the victims come out with the answer may not be one plus one is two. Even the Chinese civilization thinks it's one plus one is two. It may not be what the victims think. The hypnotic do not know anything at all. They sabo everybody until they receive the same poison. Then they will know exactly whether it's true or not. Many people have replied, "Oh, it's a silly game. It's a wasting time game." No, they don't. What if the hypnotic vice so some people? What if the people issue order also receive the same poison? If you talk, as I said already, about this economic liquidity, it cannot be proven in court as long as it's legit for more than 50 years. So why want to play politics? There's just nothing better to do. Everywhere in the world there are good, dark, and shades of grey. The whole world, the whole world, whether it's more percentage or less percent, there's still shades of grey. So whatever is doing all this doesn't count. It's better the individual all become self-sufficient. Sometimes they're being hired by their company, boss to do all this. Why? They could be involved in many, many, many things that are trying to cover up. They are being paid to help their clients to cover up many. It may not be coming from individual. It can be company and company. The boss deal with the client could be company or any other entity. So that's why I said in the end, whatever they not device to do is, they do not know. So if they really do it for self-sufficiency, then they better be self-sufficient and not do this style of work. Because this style of work, so much money coming in and out, nobody knows. And how much they're being paid. Because now the world has more problem than solution. So it's whatever they do is not worth it. It's not worth it. Maybe they try to think of this and that, think of that, think of this. I say in the end of the day, I'm just doing my own things. I mind my own business. I don't disturb other people. I just do my own. Sometimes because of the temperature is a bit cold, that's why I close. I open a little bit. I can wear jacket if I want to, but I don't. Because like I said, in the end of the day, I don't know how to say how many things are in the world that is still unknown. So that's why I said I still see many things, still uh, observe the situation. That's why you see life of the two in the existence. Not big round again. In the hypnotic bicycle wants to use the wisdom of negativity because it says that the negative have to exist in non-living existence, in other living existence, but not human living existence. It's because existence, principle of wisdom, is equal to coexistence, equal to existence. Humans within themselves have to coexist. Humans have the brain to manage themselves. They have the ability to create negativity. So when they create negative, doesn't mean that they still need to. No. So it's not an exception to the rule. They need to harmonize with each other. Existence coexists. Life of two in the existence. Yeah, you have good and bad. But the bad people must learn to harmonize with the good. The bad cannot destroy the good. That's what I'm trying to say. The good cannot destroy the bad. But the good can, based on the law, you will have to destroy the bad. Because in your own country there are laws. You cannot say everybody just live like nobody's land, there's no law, because in human there is law. But with the laws, they have the good. If there are no laws, the good have to harmonize. With the bad have to harmonize to good. Law, no laws means what? If it's in a weakness of system, when they can abuse, misuse, manipulate their powers or whatever device, weapons or anything for their own advantages, then they should learn to harmonize with the good and not just going around and just killing and slaughtering people. Life of the two in existence, the good and the bad. Yes, understand. But the principles of wisdom is to make sure that everybody existence is good to existence. Yeah, they must. They cannot bad kill everybody. Good can try to kill, but they must base on laws. Without laws, good cannot kill people. Good laws and no laws. So the principle of wisdom number one is always there. Existence is good, coexistence is good. Everything exists, you have to learn to coexist with each other and harmonize. You cannot say just because this one is a weakness system, they can abuse, misuse, and manipulate powers for their own. They can do it in certain percentage, like for past 50 years. Anyone do any illegal activities, they can do it. But when there are laws, they cannot do it until if they want to do until they are chargeable in court. That's all. That's why I say chargeable, not arrest. Arrest they can be left live. They can live. They can be released. They can be proven innocent. When they are arrested, they can be innocent. So in them until proven guilty in court. But they shouldn't abuse the power because existence is good means that the strength and the weakness of the system allows it to function in certain ways. Not completely better for everybody, but still everyone can still function as one in a society, in a country, or in a town, or whatever environment. But that's why you see, if you live in a village, you are Tai Long and you have the secret society. They also cannot lock over everybody. You can, hey, you're today, or Mr. A's wife. Another hour, Mr. B's child, daughter, or son. You cannot do this in the kind of. So people with negative, they must learn to harmonize. That's why they are very clever. They move into from the physical economy to the digital economy. But is it, say, uncle, is it a virtual economy or digital economy? It's digital economy, it's real economy what? They move into real already what? So why want to 做贼心虚天下走为强? Say, hey, uncle, they're using cash, that's why they want to mix. Then that is the weakness of the system. Who are the law? Who are the people in the Tauke and all these people? Who are the boss of this world? Of this? Why they cannot be convinced? Why they cannot be convinced? Because I'm not abusing and misusing, I'm sharing the wisdom. But those people are not abusing and misusing. They are responsible because they shouldn't allow this to happen to have they can have cash, but again you should use less cash. People want to use also can use. At least there's an option available. If you want to use cash, you can. But if you use QR code. Like when I lining up people pay cash in ABC, maybe they are frustrated in they can have wider payment system, GrabPay, PayWave, go and apply, go and help them to apply, to help them apply and approve. Nets only. What kind of world are we living right now? When the rest of the companies, the rest of the companies and everything are using PayWave, everything, thinking in 1 minute. Whatever, whether food or whether it's um, consumer goods or food, everything, no need to use nets. Now they slowly they find that they still have the option of it. But in time they'll phase out, they say what for nets. Nets pay also have, flash pay also have. Now you can, if you want, you can have a card and then that's why I say slowly integrating together. So in the end of the day, many things I am not able to fully understand, but they have to go and sort themselves out to be in to catch up with the technology. Last time I used to use nets, now no more. But they must establish a technology that both can still use, whether nets or paywave. Or maybe they have no other choice to phase out and re-divert everything to improve. Because you see, like Xerox, after a certain time they change, no more, less and less printing. Uh, all sent to your email, and everything. What's your member number? 12345, mobile phone number. So you will send to your email all the receipt, no need paper. And many things, all this in time that we already owe more than 5 years already. We are already running out of time from paper less to paperless. All this in online payment system not only widen, increase, but some are not already outdated already, phase out. So that people can start to use PayWave. They want to apply for nets. No nets, only PayWave. That's all finish. So all this in time they will try to streamline or improve, reduce old, outdated technology. They say some countries they still use some countries, our country. Then people come, wow, in China it's maybe even much far more advanced. That's why I say I don't go there yet. When I share with people that many people actually know already that the technology are a lot of things are outdated in Singapore and even many other countries. We just talk about Singapore, about technology. We are not comparing both countries, but talking about technology. Why? Because the earth and the rest of the universe is one wisdom. They must be able to sync and coordinate together so that they can function properly. Just like the human body. If anything that is positive doesn't mean that we put vaccine in, does it mean forever? Doesn't. You take paracetamol, does it mean forever? But the weakness of system coming, does it mean forever? Can also. Depends on situation. But I said don't talk about the negativity, just the positive itself. There are certain things that positivity can turn into negative. Just like you have certain technology after, hey, this technology no good, no. Can do this, cause more problem, maybe cause problem, resources problem, and more reduced efficiency, effectiveness, and the productivity of the system, whether people or whatever. The same, if you apply technology, it doesn't help. It makes things worse. Why want to apply for what? Why want to apply the technology to the people to use? So in the end of the day, they have to find everything when they solve the problem to make the problem recycle in a positive manner. So you solve problem in a positive manner, or solve problem in a negative manner, or solve problem in a positive temporary, then later turn into negative. Or is it always constant positive, positive? Well, as I said, recycle things, the mentality in the person. When you talk about recycle, you talk 环保，我们要环保，一个人怎么样啊？Later want everybody home got 3 dustbin, and this no need. In the back, in the main problem, the garment recycle means what? Recycle solution means that whatever they solve, it has to be positive, and the negative, the consequences have to be positive. It cannot be negative. If there are negative, at least less of negativity, maybe only 5% and 95% or 90% positivity, something like that first. And that's why I say they know all the white paper, the teething problem, but again, that is when problem occur. Can we prevent the problem from occurring? We can in our own country. We set up the CDC, but at the same time, in our own country, we can. We not care about other people. If we have the answers for our own country, then we solve the answers for our own country. Prevention is better than cure. Prevention, detection, early warning system. Just that we have been doing in security and safety and stability maybe, and economic liquidity maybe. I'm not very sure on more detail on that. But more on the health area, because health is everyday what everyday people pulang lah. People are around every day. They continue how to be healthy, because one person can transmit any illnesses, even common illnesses. So as I said, I'm actually doing this because I need to sometimes help me in solving the problem that I'm doing, like any work that people are doing, and help me to better understand about many things. Although it's a small area that I'm building, I didn't mess up very fast. But at least I get a better understanding. It will take quite some time to build up the whole place. But then in time, will you be happy? No, I won't be happy with. It's not trying to say that I'm trying to feel perfect. Because of certain things that are not able to have. So that's why certain time I just dezone it. I just delete the building, and I don't delete the building and let it build up and let it be, and when the time comes I have more space available, and when I need to build certain things, like let's say want to build something, I can see whether it's really anything that there's a space available and that. And this is it. There are many I don't build yet. You cannot have a zone that is just one zone residential like suburb. In the modernization, you have a mixture. You cannot have one zone all industrial. Like you can have in most of the countries, but commercial and residential you can have it. But again, like I said, then you have to ensure that you transporting the human to the workplace, whether it's commercial, industrial, even to the shopping, all these areas must have the transportation system. And so therefore in the end of the day, the next one will be social building cities, but which I do not like. that'll be the last phase that I'll be building. Maybe the next building will be the next map will be actually improved. Maybe next time I got another one. I think no, you have to buy another one. Right? No, it's not. You are in the two account or two computers, and then just build from there. Yeah, build one, and then build the other one. Interesting. But then um, that's why I said you must have the infrastructure all available. Now, like our country, we come to reaching to a peaking area of modernization. Maintenance is just a basic, but in the sense of expansion, you must see what are the things you need to extend. So I already said we have to strengthen the infrastructure, not by the MRT, but by drainage and sewage system. The airports, is, of course, will be completed in time. Same still have to continue to allow the land for future users. We continue to land reclamation and have the land available, and then the recycle of the this HDB buildings is actually a very good thing. Say you build, and then after that, after a certain number of years, let's say 50 years, what you do, you can en bloc. But before you en bloc that piece of land on the next field, you build it up. You build it up already, then after that, then the existing 50 years one you en bloc, going up and see whether they want to shift. Okay, they are given the first priority, first queue to occupy. But if they don't want, they want to go to other place, go now. How about the other one about the also in consideration certain plots of land is being reserved for national security and national defense. And so national defense is also involved in emergency crisis, just like national security. So you have to look at the health, safety, security, all this in the emergency crisis management. So when you have the land, also you must have areas that is applicable, that is available for emergency crisis. The land available for. Because sometimes I don't really want to go. I know because sometimes it's too many the population and everything. Then you must have where's the evacuation and assembly point. Well, the building all that area already. So in the end of the day, there must be always a place available. Where is human created disaster? Whether it's human disaster or whether it's you say hospital bed, that one is not. That one is this. All these are just temporary. That's why I said you must also have a underground. What about underground? Underground, all this in time, I said you also can have the evacuation area and all this. And then sometimes you see that where is the exit point? Sometimes that I go to um, I forget one of the areas. So where's the exit point? Where's the staircase? Very hard to find the staircase. Here, when the thing happens, you will unlock and then people can start running down and all this. So I said, I don't know, I also don't know so much about the security law. I should know more about the access and all this. I say, but for the national defense, in a sense, I also look from the national defense, looking at it in a defensive manner, in the emergency crisis manner. So again, like all this is still early. So that's why I said by the end of this year, many people will review whether it's building, the building owners, whatever building owners, condominium, residential, commercial, industrial, and also followed by the this government, national security, and then national defense. I don't know what they are doing. On this. But as I said, in time with all this, we were able to understand more, review on also actually national defense review. But more in terms now the tracker is the wind factor and the flooding, and then the rising of the sea levels. I think there's quite a few factors involved. So there's still a lot of land. That time I went to Jurong East. I said, hey, no, still a lot of land. So don't need to build so fast because as time goes by, the population also decreasing. We don't need to increase. I said the population is like what's the population? It's 4 million will be quite self-sufficient because as you move slowly, the population will shift in the income level. So many people will squeeze out. I'm very sure, you see, if nothing has been done, it's in about 5.4. So it will go down to 4.5. Should we increase to 6 million? You talk about population, what is the population? Is it the Singaporeans? Or you must know Singaporean, what's the population? If you are Singaporeans, there are 4.54 million is self-sufficient. So that one they write it down. I'm not going to write it. And then the rest of the population will be foreigners, foreigners, foreigners. It means all kind of people. You can have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, even 4 million. Does it artificial boost up the stats to say that? Let's say this is 5.4. You add another 4 million of foreigners means 9 million. That should not be the way. Foreigners is foreigners and break up into many population. Tourist is tourist. Then you have the locals. So you can minimum 4 million and 4.5. It's already quite self-sufficient. So all this I don't know how is the breakup, but as a guideline is 4.5 to this. You see Hong Kong 7.4. So it's very clustered, very clustered, and that's why you see the condominium, all this, the house very small, like a shoebox or whatever. So the next one will be, I think KL. I think that's one about KL. So you can see that I say I'll just share a little bit since they nothing to do. So Kuala Lumpur is here. There's also some demographics. What percentage of KL is Chinese? 22.4 KL. So all this in time, I don't know how updated it is. So in time, it can be much more updated. So it's so so this one is like block. So I use an so Kuala Lumpur is 1.8, so it's quite okay lah. So in the end of the day, you can see that even in Kuala Lumpur, how they space out, how they try, but not able. Why? Number one, education literacy. Education literacy, and this is most important. So with this education literacy, if they have more building the local world class talents, then they can have more to support the economy, to support the population, to have more things going on, not about terrorism, but about peace and economy, more about economy. So that's about where you say, oh, need to have a lot of children. No, it's because, like I said, of course you need to have children, but again, there will be a shift from the village, a shift from the village, not the village, a shift from the a shift. See, that here this is in MRT, I just explained. A shift from rural to the so Chinese can increase, but at the same time we also need to have Malays to increase. But because of the higher cost of living, everything they say it's a blessing, sense it's not. Because of that, people tend to So there'll be a different focus on it, and that's why in time there can be a kind of more males and girls artificial insemination, and followed by also embryos in time certain countries, not China. It can be any other country, not Russia. It can be any other country that built embryos of military people or for the workforce. They train to and they train the military and all this. But after that, they'll be trained in the public sector in all kinds of talent that they need, whether it be IT industry, whether it's construction architect, or construction industry, and this so many mystery one. And in the recycle, so they can contribute all these industries to contribute for the digital economy, for the green energy cost savings. At the same time, they have a pool of local world class talents and also inviting the foreign talents to give advice or to help out in because their skills, their profession are higher, so they need their advice, their consultation and the operation everything until like in Singapore they learn, then they become apprentice, they learn already, then this all this can migrate or they can go other places. Then some of them they very highly demanded, so they may want to go to other places. So you see, this is what I call world local. In Singapore, the what is not only locally demanded, the local workers are not only locally demanded, but also foreign demand. I said this part is like you need to and continue to encourage the MOM and the ministers to since they are the connected and encourage them to what? To help the local population to find work overseas through the government connectivity. So when they're able to establish this, whoever does it, wow, sure sit there very good. Director 5,000, okay, talk it, 10,000 also good. So when they have this, they can help as a department or whatever to help connect all these people and then connect to the already connected, the government to government level of the companies. They have their own government related companies or their private companies, their own country private companies. So if you can connect, you want to work so far, work in Malaysia, work in Indonesia, why not? And send money back up to them, up to how they want it to be. They can pay them in Singapore money. Right? They go there and work, they'll pay maybe their salary is low, but some of them they like to work overseas. They like to do something that is much more exciting. They think more about besides only more than just livelihood, more than just livelihood. They want to learn something. They want to mix with different people from different cultures. So what about the population in Malaysia? Yeah. So we are not talking about using people to fight people. Does it mean that if we have 33.57 million, is it true? Where are the people? Where's Mr. A? 透明的啦，uncle 笑了啦，you never know. 安怎呢？你应该知啦。So you can see that these are things that in the end it can be, but I don't bother. What is most important is as long as the country can manage whatever there. That's all. And if they cannot manage, they cannot govern, they cannot manage, then the problem can spill over to Singapore. Does it mean that increase the higher cost of living this in higher cost of living in Singapore and in Malaysia will prevent the population from increasing? It actually causes more problem on the existing population. Now we're talking about social problem. So next, we look at the population in Ireland. So 71.6 million. So 71.6 million is, I think that one is, I also can't remember. So quite a lot. So in the end of the day, like I said, it's just the population itself is not may be true, may not be true, but it should be correct in Bangkok. So these things, why they want to say maybe the population in the city may not be able to see. Officials of past 16 in Bangkok being the most at over 5 million. So you can have 5 million, you can have 10 million, you can have 1 million, but how you design the city is very important. So in the end of the day, many things has changed, spacing out. That's why I said I just you play this for the playing sake. I don't advocate this type of building. I'm not wasting time. It's not my achievement. It's just like something like project management that I have to complete. And along the way, as the population increase, then you have to learn to solve the problem. But given the tools, the limitation of the evolution, that's why I say there's no game that you can. Say, how about the research tree and all this? Then you can have a better building and all this. And you can just update with modes or update with new buildings and ecological buildings and all this smart and clean buildings. And then I look at it in the end of the day, it's very kind of a learning phase that everybody will be going through. That or if people go and play this game, it's a learning phase. But sometimes there may not be any real application. But again, it does somehow you when you play you will learn something. So this I will not because it's not say what is it. Like sometimes like if you have things to do, you must finish your task. Don't say 不要做了啦，半途而废了。Do things we must try to com- learn to complete certain work. Then just always 哎呀，做出来反正这个没有用啊，不要做。Then what about China? And what are they indicating to me? So you see that you see all these things that you know a lot about. Someone has been providing a lot of information. So at the end of the day, China will try to tell the world that their country is much more advanced with modernization, technologies, and all this. Of course, but again, they have also a problem. Every country, when they have, whether whatever communities they set up, whether it's whether it's rural, whether it's suburb, whether it's villages or whatever communities, it's all have problem. As long as human exists, there is problem. So they must learn to solve. The most important, you must overcome the personal problem, their own personal problem. That's more important. For me, I'm just looking at the macro of the world. So you can see that China already start building all this already. And this is 7 years ago and they may have and every day they are getting data of the world that we are living in. Whether we are living in Singapore, whether we are living in America, whether we are living in somewhere in Africa, every day China is getting all the data. And America can be also, but it's more for their America. national global security. They look only security. They don't look at any other areas. But China, oh, as long as human live, they have there will be intel. So they will gather the intel from all. So you see, until to this very day, they have been gathering so fast. Not say not say 1 day ago or 2 days ago, many years ago, they have been gathering the intel. And that's why they can improve. Not say compare others, but to compare oneself under one wisdom. They don't compare, they look at everything and they try to improve their own, to overcome their own, to know themselves so that they overcome their own problem. They know, 哎，为什么他们的地方那么落后呢？而什么 they want to improve, whether for human walking, human transportation system. Transportation are many, human walking also is also a form of transportation, bicycle. You can see that one fantastic one, I would say. So you see that now 中国真的是非常伟大. There are many many things that I haven't been and haven't go and I haven't seen. But in time, I will go and find out more. 10:30 then I'll go. So let me listen some more about this.
一起发展到今天，有其深刻的历史逻辑。作为最大邻国和全面战略协作伙伴，中俄关系在各自外交全局和对外政策中都占据优先地位。中国历来奉行独立自主的外交政策，把中俄关系巩固好、发展好，是中方基于自身根本利益和世界发展大势做出的战略抉择。中方同俄方加强战略协作的大方向坚定不移。中俄都致力于实现国家发展振兴，都支持世界多极化，都推动国际关系民主化。双方要进一步深化各领域务实合作，加强在联合国等多边平台的协调配合，助力各自国家发展振兴，做世界和平稳定的中流砥柱。普京热烈欢迎习近平对俄罗斯进行国事访问，对习近平连任中国国家主席再次表示热烈祝贺。普京表示，过去10年来，中国各方面发展都取得令世人瞩目的伟大成就，这归功于习近平主席的卓越领导，也证明了中国国家制度和治理体系的优越。我坚信，在习近平主席坚强领导下，中国必将继续发展繁荣，顺利实现各项既定宏伟目标。在双方共同努力下，近年来俄中关系在各领域都取得了丰硕成果。俄方愿同中方继续深化双边务实合作，加强在国际事务中的沟通协作，推动世界多极化和国际关系民主化进程。双方就乌克兰问题深入交换意见。习近平强调，在乌克兰问题上，和平理性的声音在不断积聚，大多数国家都支持缓和紧张局势，主张劝和促谈，反对火上浇油。历史上看，冲突最后都需要通过对话和谈判解决。不久前，中方专门发表了立场文件，呼吁政治解决乌克兰危机，反对冷战思维，反对单边制裁。我们认为，越是困难重重，越要为和平留下空间；越是矛盾尖锐，越不能放弃对话努力。中方愿继续为推动政治解决乌克兰问题发挥建设性作用。普京表示，俄方赞赏中方在重大国际问题上一贯秉持公正、客观、平衡立场，主持公平正义。俄方认真研究了中方关于政治解决乌克兰问题的立场文件，对和谈持开放态度。 欢迎中方为此发挥建设性作用。两国元首表示，期待明天再次会谈，规划未来一个时期中俄全面战略协作伙伴关系新蓝图。
您正在收看的是新闻直播间。北京时间今天5点24分进入春分节气，此时节的阳光柔软，东风含笑，燕子归来，咸风带雨，不仅带来了春风绿两岸，也带来了春暖百花开。春分节气是春耕最繁忙的时候，我国大部分地区的越冬作物进入春季生长阶段，此时呢也是早稻的播种期。记者从湖北省农业农村厅了解到，今年湖北计划种植早稻191.1万亩。在湖北早稻生产大县溪水县，这2天当地的农户们正忙着育秧。来看总台记者从当地发回报道。
我现在是在湖北溪水的一块早稻集中育秧田，大家可以看我身后啊，农户朋友们把这个育秧盘是摆放的整整齐齐。来，我们往下看，这是一块已经做好的育秧盘。大家看，这个叫营养土，覆盖的这个营养土啊，实际上就是比较湿润的泥土，里面呢加入了壮苗的营养剂，表面已经是覆盖了均匀的这个稻种。大家看，这个稻种是已经发了一些小芽，也就是说啊，这个稻种其实已经进行了一个浸种。那么通过浸种呢，可以保证它的一个出苗。大家可能比较疑问，这个稻种为什么表壳是红色的呢？实际上啊，我们来看一下这个设备，这是一台拌种机。我们农户朋友啊，把这个稻种放到这个拌种机里面以后，再加入了拌种剂。那么这个拌种剂呢，有着抗病毒、防菌的一个作用，这样就能够减少早稻在生长的过程中发病的。采用的办法叫看核选种，也就是啊给种子来一次选美大赛。那上一届啊水稻收获的时候，咱们的农业科学工作者啊就到田间地头看哪个种子它的抗倒伏比较好，它的抗病毒性比较好，它的产量高，就是要选出一款啊各方面都比较优良的种子来提供给咱们的种植户。总而言之，每一个稻种都凝结了咱们农业科技工作者的心血和汗水。那从空中啊可以看到，我所在的这块田地地势比较平整，田块也比较集中，采用了大棚集中育秧的方式呢，棚内温度很均匀，方便早稻出苗，而且啊出得齐。不过溪水位于丘陵地区，像这样平整连片的土地啊其实并不多。我发现一些种粮大户由于流转的土地比较分散，采用的呢是小火棚育秧，那么这种方式呢就更加灵活，而且经济。当然，对于一些规模的经营户，他们采用的是工厂化育秧，按钮一按，几秒钟内机器覆土、撒种、一气呵成，几秒钟一个秧盘，效率啊非常的高。那无论哪种方式育秧，都要因地制宜，适合的就是最好的。今年溪水县种植早稻面积是17万亩。育秧后，再过不到1个月就可以开始插秧了。通过良种、良法、良机配套，育好秧苗，为今年早稻生产打好坚实的基础。
眼下的云南省昆明市成贡区万溪冲村的千亩梨花正竞相绽放。那下面让我们跟随前方记者郭丽姐一起去看一看。李姐你好，通过画面看到你身后就是一片花海啊，来带我们感受一下你这里的春日风光。
好的，主持人，我现在呢是在云南省昆明市的成贡区。3月中旬，微风和煦，在万溪冲村的6000亩梨花已经迎风绽放了，恍如千山暮雪，弥漫着淡淡的梨花香，仿佛置身于梦幻中的雪国。远远望去啊，在山坡间，成片成片的梨花一望无际，一幅广阔素美的梨花图就在眼前铺展开来。沿着小路走进花海呢，花香气息扑鼻而来，千姿百态的梨树啊，壮观不已，花枝随风摇曳， 晶莹似雪的梨花傲立枝头，待一阵清风拂过呢，片片洁白的花瓣啊就会在空中舞动，有的在空中旋转跳跃，有的随风飘远，花瓣落满大地，尽情渲染着落英缤纷的美好意境。万溪冲的梨花在每年3月上旬绽放，游人们啊也是慕名而来，踏春赏景，欢歌笑语回荡在梨园之中。赏完梨花呢，还可以到附近的集市上逛一逛，感受一下浓浓的烟火味儿。万溪冲有着优良的土壤、优质的水源、适宜的气候，因此很适合种植梨树。当地呢，在种植过程中，通过嫁接优良单株果木，开展创新改造，推广一系列的科学管理措施，保证梨树的良好长势。同时呢，当地的种植户还会进行适时的修枝剪叶，让树形成伞状，有较宽的冠幅，这样能够保证充足的光照和果实的质量。万溪冲啊，种植梨树已经有上百年的历史了，当地生产的主要品种啊是宝珠梨，也是非常的有名。那近些年，宝珠梨呢已经成为当地一张响亮的名片。成贡美景四时有，醉在梨花怒放时。朵朵枝头盛放的梨花，为市民和游客带来了繁花似锦和山花烂漫的美好景象。当地啊也大力发展龙纹旅乡村品牌特色，推出了一系列和观赏梨花有关的文化旅游活动。据了解，近2年万溪冲村年均接待游客超过了50万人次，也大大激发了当地乡村振兴的活力。好的，主持人，现场情况就是这样，下面时间交回给北京。
好，以上就是本台记者胡连杰发自云南的报道。新闻直播间稍后继续。
您正在收看的是新闻直播间。
国际方面，我们继续来关注俄乌冲突。俄罗斯国防部20号通报称，过去24小时里，俄军在库皮扬斯克、红利曼、顿涅茨克、扎波罗热、赫尔松等方向打击了数十个乌军炮兵火力点，摧毁了数台不同型号的火炮。同时，俄军在多个方向打击了乌军的人员和军事装备据点，摧毁了数台坦克和战车。此外，俄军还拦截了多枚火箭弹和导弹，在顿涅茨克和卢甘斯克地区摧毁了数架乌军无人机。同一天，乌克兰武装部队总参谋部发布战报称，过去24小时里，乌军在红利曼、巴赫穆特、阿夫杰耶夫卡等方向击退了俄军的数十次进攻。同时，乌军对俄军人员和军事装备据点实施了打击，摧毁了俄军的弹药库，并击落了俄军无人机。当地时间20号，美国国务卿布林肯发表声明称，美国将再次向乌克兰提供价值3.5亿美元的军事装备，其中包括海马斯高机动性火箭炮系统、布雷德利步兵战车和榴弹炮等武器。据美联社20号报道，欧盟当天通过了一项联合采购弹药计划。根据该计划，除中立国家外的欧盟国家和挪威将共同为乌克兰购买弹药。此前有媒体报道称，这一计划总额达20亿欧元，其中10亿欧元被指定用于部分偿还可以从自己的库存中向乌克兰提供弹药的国家，另外10亿欧元用于联合采购新弹药。上个月，美国资深调查记者希伯赫什发表文章称，去年9月底发生的北溪管道爆炸事件，美国是幕后黑手。美国政府对此予以否认。目前居住在泰国的美国海军陆战队前队员布莱恩在接受总台记者采访时表示，美国政府否认炸毁北溪管道是掩人耳目，管道被炸，美国受益，而欧洲在工业产出方面的竞争力却被无限期的损害。
Have you read the investigative report of American senior journalist Seymour Hersh? He argues that the U.S. government was behind the Nord Stream explosion, which the White House denied. What is your opinion about this detonation?
Well, the U.S. Navy and specifically they have underwater demolition teams that do things like this. They have all kinds of specialized divers in the U.S. Navy, and it almost certainly had to be types of specialized divers. They have special training schools. This was an operation that almost certainly had to have state backing. So we've actually heard much more recently. The U.S. tried to claim that it wasn't the U.S. who did it. It's back to our discussion about weapons of mass destruction. It's just a ridiculous narrative that they hope nobody fact checks and thinks about for even a moment.
So why the Nord Stream are so hateful by Washington and NATO?
If people remember, as Nord Stream 2 was being built, it took many years to build it. We remember constant pressure on Germany to abandon this project. This was not a Russian pipeline. It was a joint project with the rest of Europe. Germany and also other European countries were involved in this. The US did not want this project to go forward because what it meant was cooperation with Russia. So it would be more difficult to encourage Europe to fight some sort of proxy conflict on America's behalf. It also means that if they are doing business with Russia, this allows Europe to kind of move out from under dependency on the US. And now you see what has happened. They blew up the pipeline. Where are they going to get energy from? They're getting energy from the United States, which has to be liquefied and shipped across the ocean. No matter how hard they try, that will never be as cheap as the energy they were getting from those pipelines, which will indefinitely hurt Europe's competitiveness in terms of industrial output.
近日，赞比亚领导运动党主席理查德·希伦贝在接受总台记者的采访时表示，国际社会普遍认为北溪管道被炸一事是由包括美国在内的西方国家一手策划，因为北溪管道一旦被毁，美国就可以接管俄罗斯向欧洲国家供应天然气的生意。
It is well known that the bombing or actually the terrorism behind the Nord Stream pipelines has been orchestrated by the Western countries together with the Americans, because especially when you look at America, it has always been against the Nord Stream pipelines because they wanted to win European countries from dependence on gas from Russia so that American LNG can take up the business.
您正在收看的是新闻直播间。
近日，中国残联会同工业和信息化部、财政部等8部门印发通知，进一步聚焦有就业愿望、就业能力且生活能够自理的农村残疾人，帮助他们参加生产劳动和就业创业，实现增收。通知明确，帮助农村残疾人依靠土地从事生产劳动获得收入，在生产资料方面给予扶持，在技术指导和销售方面提供服务，同时引导残疾人家庭发展特色产业，发展高质量庭院经济，开展实用技术培训帮扶，力争让每个农村困难残疾人家庭都能有1人免费接受培训，掌握1到2门实用技术，并扩展在云客服、电子商务、网络直播等新技术方面的培训内容，推动新业态产业与残疾人就业创业融合发展，为残疾人及其家庭成员提供末端服务、云客服等工作岗位，安排残疾人从事力所能及的农村基地工作，为残疾人设置网络创业就业绿色通道，在农贸市场、商贸中心、超市、旅游景点等场所推广开设残疾人就业创业产品售卖专区，依托当地集体经济和优势产业，采取多种组织方式帮带残疾人就业增收，引导残疾人家庭参与资产收益折股量化分红，提高残疾人家庭的土地利用效益和财产性收入，在已开发乡村公益性岗位上业客服补贴。
So you can have much more like digital economy is continuing. You can share internet. Now we see the internet Singapore is very efficient. As long as you're in HDB, the internet is clear. So you can subscribe. And also the under the Bluetooth. And then I'm very tired, I just go for a walk. But I still need the warmth. Still can't think of no aircon. Yeah. So I let it run. Then later I come back again. I'm going to go to the toilet. So again, trying to control people's mind doesn't help because the bad weather condition will control everybody's mind, everybody's life, whatever is human. The bad weather condition controls everybody, every human. The non-living existence control every people. You can't control over the non-living existence. You can try to control them, but can you live in the land that is destroyed? So humans try to control the land by destroying, end up destroying themselves. Because humans need food and the daily activities to continue and live. Let's face it, sometimes the Westerners, the Chinese will want to create a lesser hand. Live a simple, content, humble life. Don't be over greedy with money. It's all not because of the environment, but learn to live with the environment, but not control the environment. If you want to manage the environment, you have to be active. When you manage the environment, you can manage everything. But if you control the environment, then you cannot say you have a wind turbine at a place where there's no wind. Right? Or solar panel when there's no solar. So you cannot kind of control the environment in certain things. In fact, a lot of things. So you must learn to understand. And like you must understand the environment. Then you know how about country? You must know the strength and weaknesses of it. And then not to exploit on it. And then what happen? You don't exploit. If you have the weaknesses, you have to improve the weaknesses. So, at the end of the day, very important is continue to be relevant in the environment where you have no control over it. 被国家所逼，所以你就要自己照顾自己。Be relevant, you have to be self-sufficient. Be relevant with the country. Not relevant with nobody can help. So when you are 被环境所逼 you have to continue the positivity, not to kill people, not to act. So tomorrow I'm going for my vaccination again. So today I have to go and stock up my supplies. People when the rain, you can see rain arriving, and the rain stops, then also don't supply that's what happened in Annecy. When get all the logistics, all the supplies ready. Buat gaji lah Singapore. But at least you are more indoors. If you go out less, people drive cars don't have to worry. People don't drive cars. So that's why I have to make sure we. But I think I must walk. So I think sometimes I don't think so. I know you drink a little for water. Water I must buy tea. Come back and drink water. I just go out for a walk and understand the situation. Something tell me about Tampines. What's about Tampines? I forgot. Someone telling me about Tampines. I don't know what about Tampines. Later I check this. No, I'm just going to check the calendar and things. Without I forget what I need to do. So the light is good, you see, when it's bad weather condition. That's why I say the 39 is good. But it's not that much, just save money. When I have a chroma, this one, not needed. No, I don't want to cover. Because this one, sometimes in case you need fresh air. Then have a heater. No, now no heater. The problem there's no heater. Because heater aircon is good. But no heater aircon. When you can put the heater aircon, I'll install already. Install here already. Install here. Or install here actually. Not install there here. And go over here. I'll install here. Aircon heater. I don't have it. So go and faster. Go and issue order, you know. Go and spread the news. Aircon heater with heater. Like China like that. 30 or I don't know. I want to buy. You got any? No. I don't think they have. Hello, how is everyone? I just came back. It's more about my skin problem than my swollen. That one is no problem. Every day I go up, go down. My skin now start to itch. So I eat the. So maybe next week I see how. I go and see the medical doctor to ask for more medicine for the itch. The one I haven't applied yet. It's the itch to prevent the taking the medicine to prevent the itch. And then in the night, something in the morning. The morning I eat everything. Then I'll itch. The night also must maybe eat also. Itch. For what? I'm going out already to Bodo Central.